Hey, what's up, everybody? We're here live with your mother.
She's a beautiful woman.
Yes, Erica Breen.
And since we all know who you wish was next to Vank, well, that's okay. There's a set. Hey, damn, I don't know.
I don't know. Is he pointing to something?
I don't know.
It's like, it's like, it's like I think of wrestling all the time. Oh man, what's going on, everybody? It's tonight is the top. It's not follow up to the top five. We call it the best of the week.
See,
Where we,
you can't even keep it straight.
I'm also trying to open up the Twitter because we can watch. We have somebody watching us at least on Twitter, because we're live on Twitter as well. Makes it easier because I figured, well, if people who maybe only use Twitter, all the kids are always watching video games because they don't have a podcast section there for like talk shows and podcasts. And I figure, what better way to reach out to all the people who hate YouTube that are over there? Maybe they get them to watch this, and then maybe they'll want to come back for some backlogs.
I invited Captain Pollyanna to join us.
Oh, I sent the captain. I sent him a link. In case he wants to, stop on by.
Because he loved everything this week.
Really?
Yes.
Oh well, him better than us, right?
I'd like to. I'd like to get a little off the cuff clarification.
Yes. So 10 books this week, but I do have ones I do not include in here. One's Walking Dead. So I'll be showing here. It's the new issue of Walking Dead. But I'm gonna go full screen for this next one because this next one, I already have it. I have the reprint of the first reprint. I have that, but they came out again in full cover.
Yeah.
So
3 different covers for a facsimile.
Why not? Why not?
Ugh.
And the great thing is that someone else is gonna buy this probably if I flip it. That's what happens to reprints. All right.
I blame John Byrne.
You're still feeling the burn all these years later. All right. My number 10 this week is Xenoscopes by Pat Chan. Van Helsing, Fighting Neverland. Well, I gotta say, just slightly above mid-story for me. Reason this being because, unlike other Xenoscope titles, this just feels like this comes out way too long in between, their quarterly number. Because it's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just, every once in a while you'll get a 32-page issue or a 72-page, and it just feels like this. It takes forever, like because it's continuation of the last one. And which one against Frankenstein? She ends up being going through a portal with her friend, who's basically like the female Jekyll and Hyde, basically they end up in Neverland, coming through an alternate, and they find an altered dimension version of would be Abraham Van Helsing Jr., but he's evil. It's the second time she's run into this person. Like I said, I want to like this character. I should be able to like this character. It's a vampire hunter. She's a granddaughter of Van Helsing. But the stories, I guess, are just not as great as they should be. There's some comedy in here, but no action. But it doesn't hit the same way it does as Robin Hood and Belle hits. When I read them, and it's I don't want to say that Pat Chan is a bad writer. It's just that maybe this isn't the writer. The writer should be on this book. Maybe he should write something else. That's why it's my number 10. All right. My number 9 is a story, or actually, it's an issue that I still do like. It's just that it felt like a filler, and that's the problem with this. But otherwise, this series has been nonstop good for me. Issue 23 of Moon Knight.
Is this the one with Venom?
Yes.
Of course, I know Venom's in 9/10 of all Marvel
books
now. But...
Yes. he comes to the whatever, like the Midnight Man or whatever, or whatever, and he's just like, oh, I need your help because these mercenaries are chasing me, hunting me down. They team up, they kick the crap out of these mercenaries, and then Moon Knight says again, you could have just done it yourself, right, kid? And he's like, yeah, I know. It's just like, why the hell is this even a story? That's why this was the art is still exceptionally good, but Jen McKay, this was a mid story.
You mean you don't have that at the ready? It's a what story?
I don't have it. I only have two hands, sir.
Because yes. You've been too busy playing with your new toy.
Fine. There you
Thank
go.
you.
All right, my number 8 is the Turtles, Usagi and Usagi Yojimbo. Overall, I don't know what people see was so special about as far as Usagi Yojimbo. Because for me, it just doesn't come off that great. Maybe it's because this is different.
Well, I'm guessing, like I said, those who are fans of this character are very passionate about it. We've got one in the chat if he's still here. But I imagine that both Usagi Yojimbo and the Turtles are probably used in a way to best appeal to fans of the other.
Both.
And more like, it's sort of like when you have, I don't know, how do I put this? Well, they're not necessarily homogenized, but just kind of positioned for mass appeal.
And this is the second time they've apparently these two been a crossover for them. Second time they crossed over, and they finally do acknowledge it in this book that they know each other, and it's just like the pace is just slow. It's incredibly slow. You always bring. It's funny because you always bring this up. It's like when something looks too cartoonish, you kind of don't like the art, And I'm having that problem with Usagi Yojimbo just being all a bunch of furries.
But I don't know how you can't make it look like that if you're, considering it's a rabbit and a bunch of turtles.
Yeah. This is a wrap-around cover. Here's the actual cover. It looks like.
But I've heard way too many people speak way too highly of Usagi to dismiss it. It's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But I get why it's so respected and why Stan Sakai is a legend.
It's not a bad story. It's just a really kind of dull story so far. First issue was kind of having them meet at the end, introduction, telling us who the turtle are, who the Usagi is. This issue, Stan Sakai puts in there little captions and it says who each person is. Because the first issue, I have no idea who Usagi Yojimbo as far as who all the people are, his friends are and stuff, how they're related to him. But the turtles were actually written pretty good for being turtles, But it's just that, like I said, maybe they should have done this as a cartoon instead of doing it as a comic book. Maybe it would flow better. But like I said, people love Stan Sakai. Maybe you'll enjoy it more than I do. But I said it just doesn't. It's just feeling kind of flat for me. Hopefully it picks up. There's like 5 issues, I think. But that's why it's my number 7. All right. My number 8.
Wait a second. Are you going in reverse? When you said, wasn't that your number 9?
Yeah, that was my. Yeah, sorry. That was number 9. Sorry.
Counting is hard.
Staying awake is hard too.
Well, it's like they ought to put you at NASA for those countdowns for space flights.
So this is my number 7, actually. Yeah. So I said this is for those who know this is Batman 135, or I guess 900. You call it legacy number, but whatever. 52 pages. It's a little more expensive. I ended up getting this cover because you're never going to see this again in the actual comic books, as far as them being together as an item. Batman chases this Red Hood or wannabe Red Hood guy who wants to mix himself into Joker. He's an alternate dimension. Chases him through a portal. They bounce from this is us. If you love the multiverse, this is for you. This goes through every single version of Batman, from Adam West through the DC animated universe to all the different Batmans that exist. And he's
Actually
chasing.
Sounds kind of cool.
It is because you get to see it's Jorge Jimenez drawing all of them. So and the art is really good in this.
Does he do it? How do I put this? Like, does he adjust his style for each one?
Well, he's not just him. There's another person in there too working on this too. Here I'll show you. Here's this.
Justin's asking if Lego Batman's in there.
No, he wasn't.
That would have been awesome.
Exactly. That's the one thing they missed was Lego Batman. No.
God, you know what? I have two wishes in life now. As I'm getting older, I want to be able to scroll through my Twitter timeline one more time without seeing Dylan Mulvaney.
I muted that, so I don't.
And I want to be able to look through one more DC comic without seeing Harley Quinn.
Yeah, right. So I do like this. He goes the Batman Beyond future, and the Bruce Wayne from this Batman Beyond and gives him something that he actually needs to basically like get back to his own timeline. He creates something for him. He says like they're confirming again that Batman Beyond is basically Bruce Wayne, this current Bruce Wayne's future. And it says you're going to need this, or at least he's had a feeling you're becoming. So he gives him a little disc, yeah. All the minds are all the Bruce Waynes, their minds are connected. And then he gives you a Joker.
Doesn't Ash have a standing invitation on Thursdays?
Oh, I don't know. I always forget which days he has on and which days he's off. So you invited Breen, but not Ash. Well, you speak yourself in the third person kind of mode.
I gotta admit, Eric thinks that's kind of weird.
Yeah, Venkman doesn't understand that.
Eric's right there with you.
So if you want to jump on, just ask.
Send him a link.
I'll give him a Jack's link.
Why did I'd go for that.
Right?
I mean, I just ate, but I'm fat. I can always snack.
You want the king size ones? Or the Sasquatch size?
Oh, do they make jerky, or is it all the links?
I'm
more a fan of jerky. Like thin jerky is what I like.
The I gotta be careful how I say this phrasing. As far as it goes,
the big ones. You can eat both asses. We don't need that.
I hate the ones that come with the freaking cheese in the packages. Those are just disgusting.
Yeah, both of them age forever. So
all right, hold on. There you go. It's on Twitter. Check your Twitters, your DMs. But yeah, Adam West. It's kind of cool.
Oh, I think I might have to pick this up. Damn it!
It was like this was $8 because we had the variant. Otherwise, it's like $6.99. Because
I don't need Batman Catwoman cover, so I'll go with the cheapest option just to read the story. But
you recognize this? Dark Knight Returns.
Oh, okay.
Frank Miller.
Been a minute since I've seen that.
So I said I like this stuff, and he gives him a costume. Yeah, they finally gets his costume from him. It looks so weird in the modern Batman with the giant bat symbol on it, though. But overall, like I said, you get probably the coolest thing you're gonna see around here in this, and he probably there's already maybe if you follow Twitter, but the shark repellent.
I heard about that. Yep. Damn it. getting sucked back into new comics. I don't like it.
But yeah. So, and the other thing is, I don't understand how this is going to work, because in the previous issue, Batman got his hand chopped off. So he built himself a robotic hand for his hand.
Which Batman? Batman or
our Batman, the one that's in here, main one. So I'm like, what are you doing? So now is this going to be him for he's forever going to have a robotic hand? But yeah, his right hand's chopped off. And you'll see him because that's what he did in where is it here? Is it this page? Yeah, right here at the bottom here on this part. Built himself a robotic hand. So, like I said, it's nostalgia trip. Expensive nostalgia trip with more pages. But if you're into that, it's cool to see Jorge Jimenez's art. And then some other, I forgot who the other was. It was Jorge Jimenez and then someone else on there too as well for some of the art. But Mike Hawthorne, I think. And Michael Janin.
God damn, he's doing a lot of work these days.
Yeah. All right, so my number 6 is a book that I gotta agree with you. That's why I was number 6, number 5. That ending was kind of weak on this.
Thank you.
Yes. I feel like if they would have had more issues instead of 5, I think they would have had a proper ending. It's just the fact that they probably told him, you can only do this, you can only limit to this. He's like, well, I want to write more. And they probably like, well, we're going to only give you 5. So he's like, well, fuck you, then I'll give you a credit.
Given the fact that it didn't sell shit, we're lucky we got the 5.
Yeah, I know, right? Which it was just really confusing. Like, why would not? Then again, I asked myself, why would it not sell? And then I was like, yeah, because
well, it's a simple answer. The people that would appeal to have been driven out of the hobby,
exactly,
and they're not coming in the store to see them.
And I think this actually has. Think about it. Can't remember. Did this have a wraparound cover? No, it didn't. I don't think it did. I don't think this had a wraparound cover. I think it was a normal cover.
I was watching Frugal's video today, and when he goes to the League of Comic Geeks and has like so and so out of so and so liked it. Joe Fixit only had 14.
Yeah, isn't that some shit? Why is something like Joe Fixit only have
same reason why Avengers War Across Time didn't? That's it.
I go online, I go on the pirate sites, and I read the comments. There are more people liking this than they're liking the other crap. Because I will not deny
that doesn't help though if those people aren't putting the cash out for them.
That's the problem. I felt like making an account, making a account on there so I could talk, but I was like, at this point, these people will never buy stuff. They're happy just reading it.
Ladies and gentlemen, children, boys and girls, children of all ages, let's all welcome Mr. Sunshine himself, Ash on Comics.
Hey, what's going on? Hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm not at home, so I don't have my good mic set up.
Where's the applause?
I don't have the soundboard set up. Sorry.
What? Ash, I ordered applause for you. I'm sorry I wasn't able to make that happen.
Wow.
There you go.
How do you not have your soundboard set up?
Because I'm using my normal microphone.
Oh, it only works with the other one?
Yeah, it only works with the other one. Yeah. Yep. Anyway,
that would have been if that had gotten to be 6 issues.
Yeah,
and we could have had a battle with another group of Avengers, a la Annual number 2.
That's what I thought I was going to do.
Pick any era, just some kind of fight scene would have been nice. Because I've seen Alan Davis draw all those characters before. It's not like he was doing his first Marvel work.
No,
it's like I didn't buy Avengers War Across Time to see Ms. Marvel and Biggin. I'm sorry, I was just like my disappointment grew with each page.
Like literally, all it was them falling through time portal and just saying, "Oh, look, there's Avengers, there's Avengers." He's like, "Who the hell is that person?"
People? Yeah.
It's literally us saying like, "Who the hell is this? What the heck?"
But what it had going for it, even with that, was it was a nice nostalgia trip. But it really was a disappointing ending, not like one that we're going to be talking about in several minutes.
Yes. Right there with that one. So soon. My number 5 is Flash.
See, I'm doing my Zach.
It's only number 5.
Yes.
Man, there was a time where this would never get knocked out of the number 1 spot.
It's because other books come out. Like I said, it's still a good book though. I gotta admit, we get the birth of Ollie's third son, or third child, they say. And they do name him Wade because Wade is continuing the 1 Minute War. We're introduced to an adult version of Wade, or an older, or teen version. But anyway, so with this, we get Granny Goodness comes in here too, which is a follow up to another issue before this with the Super Sons. Granny Goodness basically comes in, kidnaps the baby. Basically, they go to Mr. Terrific, and Gold Beetle, and a few others. They decide to basically go and to basically chase after Granny Goodness to get the kid back. Like I said, it was kind of a really rushed short issue. That's why it's not at number 1. It's still a good story though. It's just that it just felt too short. It was too fast of a read. So I know I read fast, but still a good story though.
I read fast. See what you did there?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Almost sounds like Action Comics is hiring one of the rooms in Arkham Asylum with that echo.
Yeah, I apologize for my mic quality.
He's in the bathroom, actually. That's what it is.
I'm sitting in a dining room. I'm house sitting, and I don't have my mic, so there's a little bit of reverb.
Oh, are you on your phone?
I'm on my PC.
Oh. All right. So, my number 4 is Power Rangers Turtles. Ryan Parrott and Dan Mora.
What is that?
This is my number 4 for Power Rangers.
Oh.
The Teenage Mutant Turtles.
Oh.
And this does have a wraparound cover. Actually, this is the other second run wraparound cover right here. So, if you're wondering why the Power Rangers are morphed the dinosaurs, that was because they mixed mutagen with the morphers to make them so they could work. Because the original Gordon, the basis was ransacked and taken over, so they couldn't use their stuff. And then Krang, the little pink guy, little brain looking guy, steals the Megazord as his new body. So we get if you also read the first crossover with them, there actually is turtles. The turtles have their own giant Megazord, and you get Shredder uses the green Power Ranger morpher and calls the Dragon Zord, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Get pulling on the little Jagger, calls it, and then they morph with the Turtle Zord combined, and then they just defeat the Megazord. Overall, I felt this was the better Turtle story this week for me. Ryan Parrott just knows how to capture both the Power Rangers and the Turtles as far as and just put a much more exciting story. But that's why, like I said, I normally don't read Ryan Parrott stuff. I picked up issue 1, read it for the first time, never read any Power Ranger stuff. Loved it.
No, Jackson, he likes to roll in and make dramatic entrances during the stream.
Is he blacklisted? He was Zach listed. Who are you talking about? Now he'll be here, and then he can only stay for a little bit because he has to go watch a movie. So
what?
Yeah, he's bailing on it to go watch Guardians of the Galaxy. His brother's taking him to see it. All right. My number 3. This was fun. Not sure how the ending going forward, but so far they're keeping it combined a little bit with the personality of Zachary Levi character in the movie. But it's like I said, I've never read Shazam before, so I don't know how crazy or kooky it is. But for a Mark Waid story, working in Shazam worked well for me. And I forgot who else is it. Is also Dan Mora on this too as well. Getting a lot of Dan Mora books. I noticed that. So nothing wrong with that actually. And overall, I said we get Talking Tawny, whatever his name is, the tiger guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's in here too as well. It's also confirmed that only Billy and Mary have the power of Shazam. And, so no one else, not Freddy doesn't have it. He says his family doesn't have it either. And it looks like it's just going to be kind of like a cosmic space adventure. Kind of, who knows? Like I said, if those who are a fan of the original stuff, I would say give it a shot. It might be your liking, or it might be too new age for you. I don't know. But so far, what he's been doing with the World's Finest, I think he's still capturing that same feeling by doing this too. It kind of feels kind of hokey Silver Age. So mixed with a little bit of movie.
Yeah, so I'm more of a fan of the slightly older Billy Batson version, like the Power of Shazam that Ordway did in the 90s.
Yeah,
that's kind of my shit. I don't mind this, but this, I said, it's I don't want to say it's not for me, because I could get something out of it, but it's definitely not aimed at me per se, and that's fine. So I hope this one's a hit because Jeff Johns and Gary Frank couldn't get this character over. 2 movies can't get him over as a character. I don't know what it's going to take. Maybe we'll get lucky this time, but
like I said, maybe the comic fans will like it more versus the normies.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a smaller audience you're aiming towards too with the comic. As far as comics,
I'm talking about it just in comics in general. It's just even in a shrunken hobby. Now, I do give DC credit. They are trying to expand from the bat. I said that Shazam was a high profile number 1. The Green Arrow was a high profile number 1. I commend both of those. I hope they both sell.
Exactly. I hope they continue to sell despite the fact they're going to have these setbacks with this Night Terror crap going into as far as issue.
Don't worry, DC will just promote somebody really qualified to.
Well, I'll just say in that book though, there's a talking dinosaur, and then there's talking dinosaurs that fly on a spaceship. They're from outer space. They're alien dinosaurs. They're T-Rexes, and then they offer him tea, and I'm like, how the hell do they drink? They're holding the cup, pouring the tea to him. It's just like it was just the most zany, weirdest thing I've ever seen. So maybe Zach will like it. There are no Nazis in it though, so I don't know. But my number 2 book this week, and I gotta say I was torn.
I knew that. I honestly don't know which way you're gonna go. I know what the 2 books are, but I don't know what order.
You damn well know what the 2 books are. Yep. I was like, man, they both ended good. And I'll just say my number 2 is Joe Fixit.
Ow!
Yeah. Oh, fun series, man. I'm just loving this. Like, it's sad and it happened to Peter David, but like it goes shows you that original writers that know and have proved time after time that they know how to write, and even at their worst. I'm not saying this is bad, but I'm saying I think post-stroke, Peter David could write better than anything that they're doing right now at Marvel or DC.
No, I definitely agree with that.
He could write with his foot, write a better story on left foot. I love it, man. Just great, just classic hijinks. You got whenever you have Electro, Hydro Man, the Rhino, all in one area.
Okay, let's put it in perspective. In one book, you have Count Nefaria, with his Uzi, trying to blow away a bunch of bad guys and Joe Fixit.
Yeah.
And in an X book, you have a couple of transgender, whatever the hell they are, robbing him and making fun of him because he's a man. Now, which would you rather read? I ask you.
I want to read this. That is just awesome.
Now, I got to admit, after, I said Count Nefaria was the villain in maybe my favorite 3-issue arc in Avengers history, where he gets completely overpowered because he basically, amps up the powers of Living Laser, Power Man, and the Whirlwind, and then he steals them. So it's weird to see him with a gun, but.
And he tries to lift him up out of the water because he doesn't drown, and then the ceiling tiles break off.
That's.
And then this is the best. I laugh at this. You know what's coming the next page.
Got to let us never speak of this. Agreed. When I was a boy.
Like I said, you have Electro. Of course, you're in Vegas. He's gonna take advantage of it. He's like, screw you. I'm betraying you. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I don't work for you, Kingpin.
If you check everything at the door when you read this,
oh my god,
it's a blast.
It is just awesome. Like I said, it's this is one of my top favorite series in the past 10 years.
I think it might have been Yule's stream the other night where Yule said he wished he knew where that fit in Hulk, in the Peter David run. My response would be, who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, this was just, like I said, just enjoy this on its own.
Yeah, like I said, and then of course you got Electro and Hydro Man in the same area. I'm like, you know where it's gonna go, and they're like, oh shit. So I love it. It's just Kingpin just ends up leaving at the end of this. Like I said, look at that art. This is cool art. I'm dying as I'm watching this the whole entire, just reading this, and then it ends at the end.
Yeah.
He's like, you should hang out. He's like, well, I need to get back. Well, he's like, well, one evening won't matter, I suppose, And of course, they don't tell you, because usually at the back of these books, they'll say like, "Oh, check out this book to read more about this." Instead, we get this, Phil Kennedy. I don't care about that.
Well, they are. I mean, they are.
Yeah,
they do have to promote that, but
I'll just say this: if you're going to promote that book in the back of this, that book better be pretty damn good.
I don't like that art.
Neither do I.
That Hulk, I do not like the way that Hulk looks at all.
No. And the way Bruce Banner looks, he looks like a really skinny Dana Carvey with long hair.
No, that's.
So, my last book.
I read a couple Philip Kennedy Johnson books recently, and
yeah,
he's good. He's nothing special to me, anyway. So that's
James Bond. It's okay. It's average. It's not the best, but I like it. Okay, for James, his current story is going. He's doing the second volume of the James Bond right now, but I'm sure there's probably better.
He's above the Duggan line, without question. But I think some people might rate him a little higher than I would, based on having almost 50 years of writers to compare him to.
Zach likes him on Action Comics.
That's why I read 1049, 1050 today.
I didn't read the current one.
They're on about 1053.
There wasn't one out this week, was there? It was last week, right?
No, there was one this week.
Action
I didn't
Comics.
get it, but I had a couple of them in a box I had here, so I took them out.
Yeah, because the last one I read is the one with Jonathan, and I've been reading the Jan Durkin story in the middle. I don't care for the other ones. The Metallo one was like, okay, but then they brought back this thing, this technology I learned from World, where I can just create myself a giant energy avatar. I'm like, no, you're Superman. You're not Doctor Strange. It's like I was like, oh, come on, don't give it. You're giving more powers to a guy who's already a god. That just blew my mind.
Yeah, that's fair, because when Marvel does that with Carol Danvers, we crush it.
Yeah.
So you're right. I mean that's a fair criticism. And Undead, that will be mentioned shortly.
Yes, yes. And hail Xena, you mean, right? Not Zeno? Xena? It's a typo. All right, so the last book. You definitely don't know what this is, Brain. This was just phenomenal all the way through the end. I want another round of this. I don't care if it's next year or 2 years. I don't want this to be the end of this. Mark Silvestri writing this. This just felt like it's just straight up gothic Batman horror from the 90s for me. It's been a while since I've read anything like this for a Batman story.
Now, I want Mark Silvestri doing another Batman story, but I don't want a sequel to this.
Really?
Because what can you do? You know, he would have to hunt down whatever name she has chosen for herself.
Well, it doesn't have to be her. I'm just saying
Well,
you can have.
but you know, and I don't want to see the Joker again. I have Joker fatigue to beat the band. But I loved this. I love this series, and I'd love to see him do another one. But
Well,
pick
yeah,
somebody else out of the rogues
I would
gallery.
say Scarecrow, maybe.
Scarecrow. Yeah, how about matching wits with the Riddler or anything, or
Yeah.
go off the board and just be how about a kick-ass detective story?
Yes, exactly. Detective
Yeah.
story. Like I said, just keep the same kind of like a gothic, kind of a dark,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm with you on that.
That's what I like. And like I said, I love how this ends. Like I said, and spoilers for anybody who hasn't read this. With the Joker, basically, like, you know, Batman's afraid that Joker is going to learn his identity, and Joker says, I shot that bitch. I don't want to know your identity. You're mine. That spoils the game if I know. And that's the best thing you can do.
Okay. But just for the record, that's not a Silvestri original by any means.
No, it's not an original idea. But I'm glad he kept that though.
There are two ways that people write the Joker: that he wants to kill Batman, and that he wants to, three, that he wants to marry Batman. And then there's the, Sherlock Holmes Moriarty dynamic.
Yes.
That's the best version, because I like the fact that it's like, what would be, because they've done that with Jim Gordon too, where Jim Gordon's passed on a chance to learn his identity. It's like, like it'd be like something, the dynamic would change.
No.
And for his arch enemy, it's like, without the Batman, there is no Joker. That's not the case in reverse. So the Joker needs the Batman.
Yes, like I said,
So, I like that. I like that Silvestri chose that route.
Yeah, basically, the lady basically tells Joker they had a deal. He's not telling you who the Joker. I'll tell you who Batman is. I've learned his identity, and it's like it's his bank vault here. And he said and Batman's afraid because like the Joker now has a key to the vault, which has identity. He initiates this this plan he had in case.
Yeah, that was
that was a little weird. Like,
yeah, well, that was a little
excessive,
over the top. Yeah, I mean, it's like, I realize, it's like, you're not. I mean, this is Batman having, OMAC protocols on every other superhero level. But
I really didn't get it.
Yeah.
But
but again, it's part of a story, so why not? I mean, what the heck?
But I like the fact they said, and then he says, so basically, Bruce all this, he's like, nothing. He hasn't done anything. And then he finally gets his message, like, yoo-hoo, we just got engaged, and they're showing their wedding ring and stuff, and like the bank was blown up, and he's like, he's like, so-and-so, what you didn't know while you were underwater, I basically took your special gun and shot the bitch in the head. And I basically, we went to the bulk and had some guys confirm their identity, confirm it was real, and then exploded them. That's what the whole explosion was. The bank was. He put a bomb inside the bank, killed them all. And he says, like, he goes, well, why would I spoil it? You and I are like this. I don't want to know. Everyone's the fun. He's like, as long as you're Batman, I get to be Joker, pretty much. What you said before, and I love that. Like,
and I forgot how many people were in the bank when he blew it up.
That's the other thing too. But like I said, I love it, dude. Silvestri, I like him on Batman.
Now that it should have been, if he's going to take out the identity now, just for the purpose of this, shouldn't have killed a bunch of people while he's doing it, because again, it reinforces the fact that every time Batman doesn't stop him permanently, people die. So basically, people died to protect his secret identity. So that's a that is a minus for that story, but overall, it was very entertaining.
All right, who wants to go next?
I'll go since I'm only here for a short amount of time. I'm waiting for my brother's on his way to pick me up. I'm only here for a little bit. I'm gonna go see Guardians here in about an hour.
We said that you're bailing on us.
I am for Chris Pratt. Yes. Sorry, guys.
You could just watch tomorrow like normal people do.
Why? I want to go see it on opening night.
Because this is okay. Apparently now you're in it, guys. That's more important than you guys.
What? You don't want to go see? You go to see movies and don't show up on streams?
You know how hard Venkman has worked to build this channel, and you get well. If I have anything better to do, I'll show up for a little. I'll show up late and leave early.
I'm going to be voicing at least 3 characters tomorrow reading. I'm just getting over a sore throat. I'm going to be sacrificing plenty for this channel.
That's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
This is
exactly.
What have you done for me today?
Well,
today? What have I done? Okay.
Like
Nothing.
I said for tomorrow, since you brought it up, there's only one really reading planned for tomorrow.
I thought there were 2.
I haven't planned a second one because nobody said anything.
I thought we were doing Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol's tomorrow.
So that's the planned one. Okay.
What you have done for this channel is the same answer as war. What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing. Which is a catchy song.
Yes, it is.
All right. I don't have a lot of books though either. My comic book budget kicked in this week, and I was tempted to break it. I almost bought that last Chip Zdarsky Batman, but
just try not to yell in the microphone, okay?
Am I doing that? Am I too loud?
For me, you are. I don't know about you guys.
Am I a little loud? Hang on, I could turn down my mic volume. Hang on. Sorry about that.
I gotta turn my microphone up for Breen, and then I gotta turn it down for you. It's like I need a sweet zone.
I know. I'm sorry about that. It was higher than it normally
Turn
is.
it down some more. We can still hear you.
Oh, that's funny. That's a good one, Breen.
I danced in your honor when we started tonight.
So this first book, I haven't read it yet. I've been waiting for it to show up in the mail. I can finally start to read this series now. Ash is about to be really proud of me. I think. I think so. I think twice. I think I'm going to get 2 good things from Ash.
Whoa.
So I was able to track down a copy of Vanish #1.
There we go. Oh, #1, and it's the Daniel Warren Johnson cover. Woo!
And it's the Daniel Warren Johnson cover. Ash, I know you just finished reading Murder Falcon. I still have a little bit more to go. But I'm on the Daniel Warren Johnson train right now.
Oh, dude, you bring a tissue.
Dude, I was already in the first half.
That's gross, guys.
No, not that. Get out of here.
Oh, I thought maybe you had the Jeffrey Toobin variant.
No. So now I've got every other issue of Vanish, so now I can start from the beginning. I'm really looking forward to that. Nice. I got 5 books this week. Starting at the bottom of the list, we've got Peacemaker Tries Hard. This is Kyle Starks and Steve Pugh. Jordy Belair does the coloring. It's pretty much, it is the Peacemaker. They are going for the Peacemaker from the show. Like you can hear John Cena's voice when it goes through his lines.
Does he need to try harder?
But can you see him?
Yes, you can see him. Yes. They drop a lot of F-bombs in this too, actually. They have in the corner here, if my camera will focus, it does say age 17 and above. I don't know if it'll show up. But it reads like a combination of the Peacemaker show and John Wick, because he's got a dog here now. It was actually pretty entertaining. The art was nothing special. The story was kind of intriguing. The second it sets up the second issue pretty well. I'm kind of interested.
You said kind of intriguing.
Kinda mid.
Oh, is it really mid? Oh,
kind of mid. It shows him being trained. So he finds this dog while he's like busting up this terrorist cell, and the dog really likes him, so he decides he's going to keep the dog, and it takes him back to when he was a kid, and his dad is an asshole, and it's like anyone that loves you without anyone that loves you for no reason's no good, and dogs, of course, love people and are loyal.
So there's no eagly.
No eagly, it's a dog. But he names the dog. Okay, so here's a minor spoiler. You see how the dog kind of it looks like it's wearing a little bow tie? So he names him Bruce Wayne because he looks like a little fancy boy in a tux. So he names the dog Bruce Wayne. But then something happens to the dog at the end of the issue. And it kind of takes like a John Wick turn, kind of.
So they actually killed that stupid dog off.
No.
So the dog's
they didn't-
parents get murdered, and the dog.
No, the dog does not get murdered. At least not yet. I don't think it will.
Like, not yet. It's really planning on it.
I don't know.
Peacemaker gets
Not the
murdered.
dog, the dog's parents.
No, he's just called Bruce Wayne because he looks fancy.
Bruce Wayne, the dog's parents are dead.
Because he
Anyway,
becomes the Dark Avenger of the Night.
anyway. My number 4 book this week is Avengers War Across Time. Really like the cover. Cover's really cool. I was kind of let down, actually. There were some cool scenes, but it was kind of anticlimactic. Like, Did you think the same thing? Like, it was kind of just like, let me push the Avengers through the time warp, and they'll see all these pieces of their future.
The only thing was missing, if they would have saw Jason Barrett Avengers, like, oh god, no!
Like, there was some cool scenes, there was some cool stuff, but like, and Thor is nowhere. Thor is AWOL.
Yeah,
Iron Man kind of yeets out like halfway through, so it's just Steve and Hank and Jan. It was interesting. I hope that I would like for them to do a follow-up story. I think that'd be really cool. But
in case
Justin,
you're gone,
that's funny. Justin, that's pretty funny. He says Joe Chinchilla killed his parents.
yeah, Venkman said the same thing that you did. Frugal said the same thing that you did. If you're still here when I review it, you'll hear it again.
Yeah.
And I told Venkman, I said, I didn't buy this to see, Ms. Marvel embiggen.
Yeah. They
like,
show like the present day because that was weird.
I've seen Alan Davis draw all those characters. Who cares?
Right.
I mean, I told Venkman, I said it wasn't his first work at Marvel.
Yeah.
I was kind of
Paul
Davis.
It'd
have been nice if there had been 6 issues and they could have at least fought somebody to make this time thing worth the trip.
Now that I think about it, it sounds like that Jan Jurgens DC thing where they connected everything's all connected. Batman, they never age. I forgot what that title was.
This was just him like sliding through time. That was a little different.
But it felt like that DC book though.
There was no there.
Yeah. And like there was one cool scene where they show Hank and he's seeing something that I'm trying not to spoil for anyone that wants to read it and has it. The Hank sees like a piece of his future.
Spoil.
Well, Hank sees Ultron. Okay, Hank sees Ultron. Fine. Sorry, guys. I tried not to.
He freaks out.
He freaks out. So I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. Like maybe if they had shown different Avengers like pieces of their future, like if Cap sees that he's going to get assassinated or Tony sees what he's going to do in Civil War, that could have been cool. But yeah, I was kind of let down. Unless they do a second volume, like a part 2, I think the first issue was the best one.
Cap sees Peggy Carter. No,
but honestly, do you want to see? I don't want to see I don't want to see a sequel that's set in the present or the future. The fun of this was that it was
in the past.
It was a Silver Age feel.
Yeah.
And I realized, I said, because you guys both know my favorite annual is that number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I would have loved to have seen some kind of callback to that.
Yeah,
that's what I thought we're getting.
6-issue series. So
when you saw that cover,
yeah,
I thought it was that. I'm like, oh my, it's King Size Annual 2.
It'd have been nice.
Yeah. Number 3 on my list this week is the Venom Moon Knight team up. This is number 23
I got the
from Jed McKay. Oh, did you? This was the only one they had at my LCS.
Didn't even have that one. I was like, thank God.
I don't hate it. I like it.
Thank you,
I like how they were able to take because you would think it'd be a filler issue like last week. We talked about this on Tuesday actually, but it does actually tie into the current ongoing story where
a little bit.
Well, kind of. I thought it was neat because Venom's like he's being pursued by these enforcer type characters, and Moon Knight's like, I fought Venom before when it was Matt Gargan. You should be able to handle these chumps no problem. And Venom's like, well, my sound has been affected because Venom and the symbiote, one of the weaknesses is sound. And Moon Knight's been trying to track down this guy, this killer that's been using sound and hypnosis. I thought it was really cool how they tie that in. And the coloring's great with Moon Knight being all like sleek and white, and Venom being all black and oozy and everything. I thought it was really cool, the contrast between
I'm glad you finished that.
Yeah, Breen, it felt like I was reading Dylan McVaney as Venom Light.
I didn't get that at all. I don't know.
I thought you were leaning into your persona for a second.
My persona.
I like how
Him?
the Moon Knight was really white, and then
Oh. No, just like the coloring. You know what I meant. Good Lord. Okay.
Does that ever
Yes.
stop us?
It does. It does not. No, it does not. Number 2. I'm so happy I was able to get this cover. They didn't have the Chris Samney one because I would have shilled for. I would have paid extra for the Chris Samney
They
one.
had that.
So I got this one instead. This is the Dan Mora alternate. I think this is actually a page inside the book too. So this is actually one of the interior pages. I think. This was a blast. Holy macaroni!
I gotta ask you, what do you think about that opening?
Oh, wait a minute,
Doctor Who,
Zach.
man. It was Doctor Who.
Zach.
What?
You just said Shazam was a blast, and then you said, "Holy." Let's try that again.
It was a blast.
Shazam.
Oh, holy Shazam!
Holy moly.
Holy
Holy moly. Good grief.
Good golly, Miss Molly.
I'm done.
Guys, this book was fun. That's all I got.
I'm hiding my I'm with Ash.
Yeah, no one wants
Ash
to
had
see
the
you
right
drink.
idea.
Is that why Ash is always off camera? He's
Yes,
always
'cause he
ashamed of
knows
us.
You're going to embarrass him.
Yeah, I don't want to see you drinking that Coke Zero on my channel.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this was a ton of fun. I really liked this. Yeah, the opening was great. Yeah, and then, I just like the way he writes them. He writes them like this teenage kid, a modern teenage kid. Like he runs like a podcast for all like the superhero things that Captain Marvel does. I like how they also kind of explain why they're not calling him Shazam anymore. I thought it was really neat. And the way it ends was interesting. Also, I'm really interested to see what happens with issue number 2. Just a great, fun first issue. Mark Waid, man, he's a douche in real life, but God, he can write. And of course, Dan Mora is like chef's kiss. I mean, yeah. And then my number 1 book, surprising nobody, is The Flash 798.
Yep.
Yeah. This is going to be, I think this is a really fun story. It looks like it'll be Jeremy Adams' last one, but it looks like it'll be a really great last one for him to go out on. It opens up, Linda's had the baby. She's had Wade, their 3rd kid. Something happens, Wade goes missing. So Wally gets Mr. Terrific to help him go on. Mr. Terrific and Gold Beetle, they kind of figure out like you have to go on like this time travel, time heist, space heist type deal, and so they get like some extra characters to join them. Mr. Terrific calls in the Terrifics. They don't get a whole lot of screen time in this issue. Maybe the next one they will. But then the ending, I know RDV. What'd you think of that last page though?
The fair play?
No. Where the wrestler, the wrestling guy shows up on the windshield.
I was kind of like, I didn't need him at all.
You didn't like the wrestling guy?
No.
But you're the wrestling fan of the two of us. I thought you would have.
Yeah, but I like good wrestling though.
This is intergalactic space wrestling. Anyway, I really dug it. I think it was really cool. The bad guy and Mr. Terrific, of course, has a time machine spaceship that he wants to try out. I thought it was.
Yeah,
really
it was
cool.
weird. It was really weird seeing Darby Allin jump up and do a coffin drop on the ship.
And then I did get 2 collections. I did pick up the Marvel Masterworks. This is the 2nd volume of the Avengers.
Nice.
This collects which one? This is number 21 through 30.
So it's volume 3.
Good reading.
Oh, is it volume 3?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah. I guess so. 21 through 30. It would be. It says so right there. I'm blind.
Like I said, those are easier to have and hold and read stuff. Maybe
Yeah.
it might not. Well, I don't know. The font that they're probably it might be smaller than the normal size Masterworks.
No, I mean, not really. It doesn't bother me, really. I don't know.
Can't read that. It's a little.
Well, I'm also not gonna give my camera a chance to focus. Hey, look, there's a Kang
Thank
story
God,
in
it'd be
here.
horrible if it did.
So Yeah, no, I'm really excited about that. I love these. I just like the covers too. I think Michael Cho is the one that does these covers. I like his style.
Yeah,
it's,
the
very,
brother.
it's like Chris Samney, but a little bit cleaner.
It's Frank Cho's brother, Michael,
I don't think they're related.
and there's Amadeus Jones' son.
And then I'm gonna get Ash to go ooh and ah for a third time. I'm gonna get him on my side for a third time tonight.
I did it twice already? I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, you did it because it was Vanish, and then also it was the Daniel Warren Johnson. I'm counting that as
Oh, 2 for 1. Okay.
I'm counting that as a 2.
All right.
Here's the third. Here's the hat trick, though. I picked up the first volume of Magic Order from Mike Millar and Olivia Capel.
All right. You gotta let me know how that is. That's one of the ones I haven't read.
Yeah. I keep seeing because I think it's on volume 4.
Yeah.
I think. So I've been wanting to read it, but I wanted to go back and start at the beginning.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
yeah. So I'm gonna dig into that one after I finish Murder Falcon. I think there's one other book that I want to squeeze in there too. But yeah, that's on the list, the short list for sure. So okay, that's it.
Neither of you two hobos got the book that I got, and I'm really surprised. Bankman said he was strongly considering it.
You talking about the Astrobots?
Expected because
the Astrobots.
Well, it's one of your qualifiers for a good comic.
Okay, I'm curious now. I liked. Oh wait, that's one of my qualifiers for a good comic. You said
no.
Oh, okay. But I'm curious now. I always like to hear new books, like books that I'm not reading. That
I gotta look it up because it was on my pull list. Yeah.
What are you talking about, Ash?
I don't know either.
It's a new indie book. You wouldn't be interested, Eric.
Hey, Ash, come close. Seriously, do you ever have it?
Hold on.
I'm right next to the screen.
I already said.
There you go.
I might as well do mine now since.
Why am I still the big face? I thought we were transitioning to Breen.
Because you're younger and prettier.
Yeah, you keep saying that. I don't know if the world agrees.
Well, it is. Well, you're younger.
That's
true. No debating that.
There is no debating that. You are correct.
All right. First, I gotta show you something, Zach.
Okay.
You'll be happy. Look what
I'm nervous now. Oh, hey! That's right.
Nice.
What issue are they on?
I think they're on. I think 4 will be the next one.
Oh, there's only been 3 so far?
4 or 5. Yeah, the timing. DC really screwed up on the timing. Jeff Johns has talked about that.
Stargirl had issue 6, and that'll be it. That's one for 6.
Okay,
well, Stargirl is the miniseries. Yeah.
Well, hopefully, maybe I didn't miss any. That'd be great.
I don't think you did though. I'll double check, but I don't think you did.
Okay, number 5. Showcase number 50. Oh, wait a minute. That's my list from 1964. Never mind. Okay, first. Yeah, this doesn't count either, but Bankman, I just got the regular one.
Yeah.
Ooh. And I'm thinking, how bad a week did the Harley and Ivy shippers have when this came out and she's all over Batman and Bruce Wayne?
Yep.
And Harley gets engaged to a man in another book. Oh, they have to just be beside themselves.
Remember how crazy they were when Booster Gold and Harley Quinn were a couple?
Yeah. Anyway.
So the I now remember which one the Ash got. He's upset.
What is it?
Animal Castle.
Oh.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, not counting this one because it technically came out last week. We didn't get to this week. Plus, I would not.
Nice.
I wouldn't count. I mean, I disqualify this because I don't like reviewing friends' books.
What do you think of it,
with people that I really like? This is my favorite of the 5.
Yeah, I liked it.
I think I finally figured out what's going on. I'm not real smart, but this is good. Number 6 is the wrap up. I'm really looking forward to it.
Cool.
Now for the 4 books that did come out. Number 4, kind of anticlimactic. I think we've heard that.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Yeah, it was a fun trip down memory lane, and he got most of it right. And like when Jan said, I never liked him hiding behind that mask. That's kind of out of character, but that's okay. But the trip through time, that basically was just them going home.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still take this over anybody writing modern Avengers any day of the week. But
yeah,
it was just kind of
it was a bit of
a letdown.
Was it like 6 pages in just going through time?
Yes.
It felt like.
All right, number 3, Parker Girls. I guess I'm holding up an empty. I'm not holding up anything since I don't like indies, so I don't have anything in my hand here. So
I can't see anything. Johnson
must
be on there.
I was right. There's nothing there.
If Drax was a comic book,
Kachu's been kidnapped by Zach, proving Azab. All Zachs are bad. And she knows that he killed Piper, and he knows that she knows, and they're having a back and forth, and she escapes, and all hell should be breaking loose in issue 8. If you're not getting this, you should be. Terry Moore is one of the best writers in the business, has been for a lot of years, and highly recommend this. And Venkman and I had the same top 2, but did we have the same order? We did not. Something had to be 2, and it was this. No particular reason. I really enjoyed this. Didn't see the twist coming at the end, honestly. I kind of liked it, at least because when they at least took the time to explain why she had come around, when he said when she could look inside his soul or whatever, said there was genuine remorse there. So it kind of like it kind of changed how she felt about him. So Joker, on the other hand, screw him, blah blah blah. But like Venkman and I talked, said I don't want to see another story with them, but I do want to see another Silvestri Batman.
I would love to see that character come back. Not now, but like
I just don't know what you can do with it though, other than kill bad guys, rinse, lather, repeat. Batman hunt, blah blah. Number 1, this was just 4-color fun. I mean, like I told Venkman earlier, I said if you just check everything at the door and then open this comic, it was a blast from page 1 to page 22. All the villains, I see seeing Count Nefario with a machine gun, seeing just the bad guys turning on each other as bad guys will do. The banner between Joe Fixit and the Hulk, or Joe Fixit and Spider-Man, Kingpin, when Spider-Man falls off ceiling and lands in Kingpin's arms. It's just like I said, this was a blast. There's no other way to put it.
It was peak Peter David, man.
This was a lot of fun. And so unfortunately, 3 of my 4 ended this week.
Yep.
That's unfortunate. But
miniseries will do that to you.
Yes, they will. Anyway, that was my new books, but I do want to show, for those that were not, hanging with the fossils last night, I want to show my new.
Hey, quickly, I just want to say hello, Skip Taj. Hope you're feeling better.
Skip
is here. All right, guys, before Breen gets started though, I do have to leave. My brother just texted me; he's almost in my driveway. So I'm about to head out, but I will be seeing y'all tomorrow on the Geeky Puppet Show, and I'll try to watch it on my phone as I'm on my way to the theater. But you guys have a good night.
Zach, thanks for giving us 15 minutes of your time.
Thank you. It was 15 minutes well spent.
Skipping out before we get to talk about the book.
I know. I feel bad. Sorry. Bye, guys.
You should feel bad.
See you tomorrow, Zach.
All
right. So my latest acquisitions. Here is Creepy Volume 1.
Creepy.
What is the one that came out this week?
This came out in paperback.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got
So for those of you keeping score at home, last week was Volume 1 through 10 of Eerie. There's Creepy
that.
Volume 2.
A big old book.
Volume 3, and damn, Ash, they are heavier than hardcovers this size should be too.
Yeah.
It's like every page is made of granite. Volume 4.
They're stone tablets.
They might as well be.
Oh, that reminds you of the towel books you get from people doing flooring samples.
Volume 5. Yeah, I mean, I've been looking when they announced that these were going to start coming out in May, last November.
Yeah,
I've been looking forward to that ever since. And then right before they come out, I get a chance to get every one of them in hardcover at just ridiculously cheap prices.
That's a mighty haul you got there.
That it is, my friend. Volume 8.
you should have seen the passenger seat in his car. His car was shaking to one side. Those books.
Yeah, I had to put Lizzo in the other seat to balance it out. Number 9. And
Good Lord.
number 10. I elected to stop at number 10 on both of those. Just because it kind of, this takes me into like the early 72 or 73. And
I gotta ask though, how much you said you got a discount on though? What were the normal?
I'd rather not say on a live stream. I'll tell you backstage.
Okay. He paid $3 for $50 books.
Yeah. Not quite.
Like what? My retailer, or not the retailer, but my what's his name? Friend JR, who works at the comic book shop. He only passes on the discount he gets to us. Otherwise, he said that stuff when he pays for his books, he gets a lot better deals when it comes to to his books. He's like, it's like being a shop owner. He's like, I get exclusive like that. He's like, you think yours is good? I get better deals than that because I'm the freaking owner.
Yeah, well, like I said, that the first one I showed came out in paperback this week. I don't know if you picked that up, Vang. Go pick it up. They are. The first issue has the last Frank Frazetta story.
Which one is this?
The Creepy that came out this week.
Okay.
It's Creepy is more straight up horror than Eerie. Eerie's more suspense. I love them both. I can't wait to dig through all 20 of those. And well, I've got 5, like the first 5 Vampirellas. I like to eventually get some more of those as well. But
the Vampirellas, dude, I've seen them up there. Like, I got the hardcovers in my shop, and I'm thinking they're $50 a piece.
Yeah.
I'm thinking how many volumes now currently now?
There's a lot. There's
12?
20 something.
Yeah.
Now the obviously the selling point for Vampirellas, once you get into when Vampirella became a continuing character, obviously are the Vampirella stories. The rest of them, basically, Creepy and Eerie are Vampirella without her.
Yeah,
it's the same writer,
stories.
same artist, same style of stories. And like I said, if you were a fan of the old EC stuff or just a fan of horror comics in general, that and not the gore per se, because like I said, they were. There's less gore in these than even in some of the EC stories that had preceded them by 10 plus years. But
nice.
It's well worth it.
All right, so I do have some more books, but Ash, what book are we talking about? You keep flashing Astrobots. Did that come out this week or something?
Wow, what book are you talking about? You're flashing this book. Could that possibly be the book you're talking about?
Oh, I passed it up because it looked boring. Sorry. And then my shop didn't even have it either. So
pass it up because it looked boring, but your shop didn't even have it.
Yeah, that's how boring it was.
It goes to more than one shop in case you.
It wasn't boring. Yeah. It was actually pretty good.
That's good to know.
I very much enjoyed the book. I will actually be picking up issue number 2. I was pretty impressed. The book is it's $3.99, which these days is kind of impressive. The publishing quality of this book is, I don't want to say it's second to none. It's not quite Bad Idea level, but Bad Idea books are about twice the price. So every page is the quality of like a comic cover, like the paper that they use. I was pretty shocked at that as I was flipping through it. I had to read it physical because there is no digital availability on this.
Was
And
that was that a Kickstarter first?
I don't actually know too much about it. This was just a comic that a lot of people in our circles, I was just hearing, people kind of mentioning it, like, oh, Astrobots is coming out, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And apparently these guys were like big, like back on the old Marvel days. I guess they did the Marvel Transformer books.
Did you ever read any Transformer stuff?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I was never big on that, but
that's kind of how I was. That's kind of why this passed this book up, because I was like,
but it was more just because I don't really like licensed stuff, so I typically just stay away from all sorts of licenses for the most part. So
driver's license too.
Yeah, it's the thing. I don't know. It's weird for me, but not because I thought Transformers was bad. Plus, I was buying comics as a kid. My allowance, I can only get so much, and so I'd be really picky and choosy on my comics. But I did like Transformers. I was like, you know what? It's the first issue. I'll buy the first issue. Everyone's real excited about this. I'll buy the first issue and just give it a shot. If it sucks or whatever, move on.
And that's is that the creator of Transformers? As far as the for the comic book writing?
Not the creator. I mean, the Transformers.
For the comic book, it was a person who originally wrote the Transformers series.
I think he was involved in the old Marvel Transformers series. But
so
the art side.
So he wasn't a writer for the cartoon at all.
I don't think for the cartoon, no. Oh. But the art inside is pretty top notch. Like it's just really well done. Like I was like, oh, is Whatnot Publishing? I don't know this.
Yeah,
they put out a really, really solid product, and it's not like Transformers. Like visually, it looks like it would be Transformers, but it's a sci-fi story. The kind of the premise is
Death's Head.
Earth in the future had to like resettle outer space, and they invented AI, and before they went out to the other colonize a planet, they sent AI robots out to colonize the planet ahead of time, like terraform it, and then they sent the colony ship. And so where this issue picks up, this first issue is you have these robots, they're the Astrobots, and they're finalizing like this city that they built on this planet, and like the colony ship is on its way. It's got like 50,000 people, and you're starting to get some notice, like it's just kind of some world building, and you start to notice like not everything is quite right. You kind of get this feeling because like, again, there's no humans yet. So the book picks up there's only robots living on this planet.
You're gonna have humans versus robots.
It has a little bit of feel of like Transformers in the sense that you feel like there's an oppressor and an oppressed class.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like Autobots, Decepticons, but it's kind of like bubbling under the surface. Like everything seems kind of like nice on the surface, but you can see people are like, ooh. And this stranger shows up out of the wastes, and he's a special class of one of the robots that they thought was all gone, the Apollo models, because every different robot, there's a different model, and he's one of the Apollos, and they thought he was gone. He shows up out of the waste, and he's like, I got this message. I got to speak to the leader, like, deliver this emergency like thing, and you don't get to know what it is right away. So it's kind of a little bit of like a cliffhanger. Okay. But it's like I said, the art is pretty good. If you like mech stuff, that's why I was giving Zach a hard time, because I know he likes mechs and things. And it's interesting. There's no transforming. It's like I said, there's like this class of AI that serves humanity, and you get this feeling that some of them are probably going to break off and become an enemy, and then it'll be a war between the two. That's how I'm expecting it to go, but that's just my speculation. It looks pretty cool. Like if anyone's kind of curious about it, I would say check it out, especially like now because it's a small publisher. I couldn't even find this digitally, so it's not like you could go on Comixology. When titles like this sell, it's hard to find them later. So
Yeah, my shop didn't order. My shop didn't even order it at all.
check the number one. And it's only $3.99, so it's not a huge investment if it doesn't catch you. If your shop didn't order it, they still may be able to. Like a lot of times they can, because I think this goes through Diamond, so they can just contact Diamond and see if they can ship one out. You might have to wait a couple weeks, but
right now I'm waiting for my Hawk versus Hawk the Slayer one trade. It's on back order apparently still.
Yeah. So I like this. Hopefully it's an ongoing series because I'm so sick of the mini series. But I like supporting indie books, and like I said, they do a really, really solid. This is not a shoddy book at all. Like
so everybody's
publishing quality, and this is great.
I know we have people are popping on. You know, got 2 more people watching now. We're talking about the Ablaze's new book, Astrobots.
Not Ablaze, it's Whatnot.
You sure?
Yeah, it's Whatnot Publishing.
Okay, it's Whatnot. Oh, that's right. I'm thinking of the other one, the cat thing.
Yeah, you were guessing the animal book.
Well, you were really talking about that. You really.
I thought it looked interesting. I haven't checked it out yet, but the Astrobots, I was like, I'm just gonna grab issue number 1 because I know it'll be one of those books that'll be like blows up and becomes this hit, and I'm like, oh, cool, I want to get it, and I won't be able to find it.
Like 8 billion genies.
Yeah. So,
right,
and also the other book I picked up. Let's see. I did. Where was I? I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, start my cam. There we go. That's my comic haul I got today.
You actually did get the free comic book thing.
Yeah, I texted my my contact at my store, and I was like, hey, I'm looking for this book for a free comic day, and she's like, I gotcha. And so I was expecting to like get it later, but she threw it in my box. So shh, don't tell anyone.
Yeah, because it's not supposed to come out this Saturday.
Yeah.
And the other shop isn't even doing it at all. They're not doing it. It costs too much money to do that because they pay for these books to give them out for free.
Yeah.
Some shops are starting to charge people $2.99 now for the free books.
Free comics for $2.99.
I mean, you can order all these books. I mean, if no one comes in, you know, it's like in your
I understand.
It's a waste of money.
Yeah, and this year's free comic book day lineup is pretty slim pickings.
So you did get the Kevin Eastman cover.
Yeah, I'm gonna get all the Kevin Eastman covers. I decided I went and looked at them, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stay consistent.
I get the latest issue of Ambassadors and the latest issue of Blade Runner 2039. Did you read both of those? Well, you read the top one.
Not Blade Runner, no.
Yeah, Blade Runner, though. Yeah.
And I haven't read I Am Stan yet, but it's
It's
Tom Scioli. It's the same guy that did the Fantastic Four.
Tom Scioli, yeah.
What's it called? I forget what it's called, but basically it's kind of like the history book. They did one for X-Men too, but it wasn't Tom Scioli that did that one.
I wouldn't know. Sorry.
I can't remember what it's called.
Pox ruined everything for me, so I can't remember anything. X-Men stuff.
Eric, do you know what it's called? You know what I'm talking about?
Autobiography?
Do what?
Those books that like Tom Scioli did one, and I can't remember who the guy that did. They're kind of like history books.
Just the Marvel Universe.
The Grand Designs.
The Grand Designs, yes. They did X-Men Grand Design, and then Tom Scioli did the Fantastic Four Grand Design. And this I Am Stan looks to be in that same vein, but just about Stanley.
Nice. Hope you enjoyed the Blade Runner 2039 series. It's been a little bit different from the first 2 volumes, so for me. So I am loving the art on it though, and curious to see where it's going to end.
I'm kind of afraid to start reading it because I want to collect it because I'm kind of invested in the whole like the run.
Like
I
you read
wanna
volume 2?
Yeah, I read volume 2,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I'm like, are they gonna like lean heavy into the whole LGBT stuff? I'm like
It's
worried.
not really. They do acknowledge the fact that she has, a replicant or her lover is a female replicant, but other than that, it's not them just being like, being like, this is our daughter here. They're not doing that shit. They're like, they're not being like trying to be moms. It's not American
Okay.
Chavez level.
Okay, that's what I've been worried about. Like cracking it open. Like,
Well,
I'm like,
you already
"Oh,
you bought 4 issues already, so you might as well just dig in before you buy the 5th one.
Well, I got the first 2 volumes, like, so
Yeah.
I kind of want to like see it through.
Yep. Oh, Skip's. Oh, all right. Have a good night, Skip. All right.
And I like
Yeah.
collecting the covers. It's funny. Like I'm not really big on the whole variants, and I'm noticing like 3 of my books there are like
Variants.
variant covers.
Yeah. All right. What do you think of the Turtles book?
I've only read the first issue so far. I
All
just
right.
picked these up today, like a couple hours before we did the stream.
I'm waiting for something to happen. I think the 3rd issue is great. It might pick up for me, but so far it's just kind of like I'm kind of like. That's why I said this week's the best book of the Turtle was the Power Rangers book with Ryan Parrott. This one, that wasn't. It wasn't Usagi Yojimbo for me. It wasn't bad, but it just kind of felt like flat to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I'm like, I hope this isn't the whole entire book, But all right, I got some back issues I bought this week.
Back issues.
I bought on Monday. I went in the shop because I had to get some more bags and backer boards, and I was like, you know what? Because May is the month of free comic book day on this Saturday, my shop does a whole half off everything sale. So I was like, you know what? I gotta fill some books that I'm missing. So that being said, here's one of the titles I filled out.
Nice.
Yeah. So I had to go for some Dazzler, number 15. And I couldn't stop there, so I got 16. Here's number 17. He's going after those gams, you know that. But which ones? Kurt Marvel, he'd be going after Angels. There you go. Crusher Creel. And number 19. That's Eric when he sees Kurt Marvel.
Pretty much.
Number 20. So now that I have the whole entire, pretty much the whole entire set, I can just read them. Having a chance to read them yet.
Very cool.
So then it skips here from 23 again, because I have some other ones. It's just I don't have them all in order here now. But I basically filled in most of the books. I'm only missing like 2 or 3 now. But 27 I got. And 28.
Man, how long did this Dazzler series run?
42 or 4, one of the two.
Wow.
I skipped again. 36. 39. 41.
Okay, that's her X-Men costume.
And then 42.
I never read any of her like solo book stuff.
Either have I. I bought the first half through E. So
It's kind of like it's kind of soap opera-y. And she, let's just say, to put it mildly, she got around. But it was also since they knew from jump that she's not the strongest character in the world as far as like to carry a book. So there are big name guest stars in almost every issue, whether it's villains like the Absorbing Man, Galactus, Doc Ock, or heroes like Power Man. One of Rogue's early appearances is in Dazzler.
So,
It's just guest stars galore in that series.
all right, the next one is actually one complete series. X-Men Annual.
Oh yeah, you told me about this.
Here's number 1. And then, actually, that was number 2, because for some reason didn't have number 1 there. I was like, really? I'm down the wall. So, number 3, number 4. Look at that detail on that ass. Cheesecake galore, man. People were like, "Who's Sage?" I'm like, "How do you not know who Sage is?" When I was shopping, I was like, at the store, I was like, "Damn, I gotta start reading X-Men." I was like, if this is the art they're putting it on there. Number 5 is all Claremont and LaRocca with Liquid doing the colors, ranking. Yeah. All right, and then number 6. The weird thing is, I hate they put the names on the side for a couple of these. No, the numbers. So you're like, where the hell's the number? I'm like, oh, it's over here.
Bill Jamas thought that was cool.
Yeah. Oh, it drove me nuts. Number 7. You've probably seen this before. Number 8. Number 9. 10. 11.
So I'd give Justin a rim shot.
Yeah, there you go. Number 12. Number 13. Getting this. Does that remind me of Species?
Yeah.
Number 14. Number 15. Number 16. These. I'm running out of room. I gotta put this in the box. But I got a nice snack. All right. Number 17. 18. 19. What's it? 20. Schism. That's when I first got into comic books. That was out. I was like, what the hell is Schism? Still to this day, I don't know what Schism is. Can't remember. 21. A lot of big mechs in this book. Noticing that too. 22. 23.
Yeah.
I know, right? Cheesecake galore. Remember this character? Cannibal?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. This is number 24. 25. Look at the guns on Wolverine, dude. It's the last thing you see him drawn like this.
It's been a while.
2012.
Is this
Yeah,
what God Loves Man Kills?
Part 2. Yeah, number 2. God Love, Man Kills 2.
Wow.
Yep, 26. $27. 29. Yeah, they didn't have 28. 30. My arms are getting tired.
Ah, those comic books, man. Oh, they give you a workout.
All right, 31. Yeah, and Dick Quincy, they're all nice covers too. That's the thing. One series has great covers. I'm not looking for variant covers. All the main covers are great. Speaking of great, more Rogue. 32. 33. 36. 38. 39. Actually, I noticed that how they does the bathing suit, the crotch, that would be banned today.
You ain't lying.
Or there'd be a bulge, and they'd prove it. Number 40. 41. 42. 43. Now, you've probably seen this cover before, Ashley. See if you looked around on the internet. This is 44.
No, not looking familiar.
And 46. Final issue. And at the end of this is where they actually become marshal. They become Storm says, I just got a job working with the police, federal being a marshal now, government. And Jean says, you know what? You guys, so the X and V case become cops at the end of this series. That was kind of cool.
So
now
I got something. This isn't what I was waiting for to send all that stuff that I've been accumulating for you.
Yeah.
But this is good timing. If I can let's see if this is coming your way.
The Playboy? How big is this freaking poster, man? Oh, that is awesome. What the hell? How big is that freaking poster? I don't know.
It is big, whatever that was that I just.
I need a frame. I need a frame for that.
Good luck.
I'll just draw
That's perfect timing, considering you just showed 9/10 of the run.
Yeah. All right, and I still got but wait, there's more. At least 3 more.
What is this? A made-for-TV offer?
I found issue 2 finally.
Oh my goodness.
I now have issue 2 of Dragon Slayer. I have both issues. Awesome.
Why?
Why not?
Okay.
Wow. And then I got some something that let's just say R.T. Barrett and Eagle Sham worked on this book with our boy Jeff Johns. Do you know the creative team? What would this be? It came out in 2007.
Oh, Justice Society.
Exactly. First appearance of Cyclone. And then because I've been eyeing this up for the past 2 years, no one's bought it, and I was like, oh, it's a half off now on the wall. I need to get a kick out of this.
That's the coolest book in your collection.
Now it is. Along with the Jerry Lewis Flash.
You have that?
I still have that, yeah.
I didn't know you had that. I'd forgotten you had that.
Yeah.
I believe that's Bob Oxer art on that. It won't say.
It doesn't sign it, no.
No, they don't. A lot of times they didn't do any credits in DC books.
And there's one more book. a book that
One more book.
I was looking for this book. I haven't seen it anywhere, and I just said, you know what? I saw it there. This is an instant buy.
Oh, I saw that at my store today.
Nice.
Yeah, I had to get it. So
Yeah, that's.
$22 book. I got it for half off.
Oh, really? That's a good deal. But it was 30 at my store.
Yeah, 22 down to 11. This
11
was
great.
a $61 book.
Yeesh.
Wow.
Yeah,
Can't vouch for the Dobby Girls, but Dave Stevens Rocketeer, he cannot go wrong.
Well, Ash, do you remember the Dobie Gillis TV series?
No.
The Dwayne Hickman played Dobie. His ne'er-do-well friend was Maynard T. Krebs, played by Bob Denver, who I'm sure you know better as Gilligan of Gilligan's Island.
Oh.
And in one season, a recurring character, friend of Dobie's, was played by a very young Warren Beatty.
Okay. All right.
And whenever the catchphrase was Maynard, whenever the subject of work would come, I'd be like, work, and he'd like freak out. And he was like a beatnik.
yeah, pretty much. All still nice bright colors. Oh, it's been.
What issue is that?
This is issue 23.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and the art in that was better than any superhero comic at DC by a long shot in those days.
Let's see who it says in here.
It looks like Oxer on the inside too.
I don't think they even list in the credits.
They don't. A lot of times they don't.
That's weird.
Well, that was something. One of the things that Stan Lee did that was considered innovative was he credited, probably because it was him, but they listed the creative teams on the inside covers, which is something DC would. Sometimes DC would put, like, the writer or the artist would write his name on the first page in the panel, but they just believed they were just cogs on a wheel, and that's what Stan Lee changed.
Look at that 2-year subscription offer.
Yeah.
I miss ads, like old school ads in comics. Nowadays, the ads are always just like the publisher shilling for their own books, but yeah, look at that. 126 World War II Commandos. Only 99 cents.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, all these ads are fantastic, man. When I was a kid, even in the 80s, they were still doing this. Like, I'd read my comics, I would stop and read these ads. Like, they were interesting.
Yeah, that was issue. What was it, 23? You said on Dobie Gillis?
Yeah, 23.
Well, it says written by unknown, art by Bob Oxner ? But that was. And then the backup story was Jack Schiff and Win Mortimer.
Ooh, that was careful. I almost pulled an E there. The tape almost got stuck. It would have been Dobai. But yeah, like I said, I love the art on that. And I said the Rocketeer, man. It's just, just been more appreciative of Dave Stevens' art, man.
I'll tell you, he never took that next step because he was doing comics for kids, but Bob Oxner could do what Dave Stevens did had he had an outlet for that because he was very good at drawing girls as well. And his career lasted forever at DC.
That's just cool art. I said, look at this. This is like Tom Cruise, man, hanging on the side of the plane. Like I said, I love all this stuff, dude. Like he said, I wish they would do. They did it ongoing. Like they were able to get people who actually could draw like this still, instead of getting the cartoonish art.
Well, to be fair, there are not a lot of guys who could draw as well as Dave Stevens. Certainly not. You know, I mean, it is. And he absolutely, Betty Page was his muse, and he actually was responsible for her, second round of fame, later in her life, which it's kind of cool.
Yeah, Dave Stevens was. I mean, he didn't. Did he do much more than Rocketeer? I don't even know him for like Rocketeer.
The occasional cover. He did the famous DNA Agents cover with the rainbow character in a cheesecake pose. That's, like I said, if you've seen it once, you remember it. It's like DNA Agents number 24 from the first series. And he did a Crossfire cover where it looks like Crossfire's discovering the dead body of Marilyn Monroe. But as far as like interiors, I don't know that he did that much other than these couple of Rocketeer stories.
Yeah, it's like
Unless I'm missing something.
It's so strange that an artist of his caliber just like came on a scene, was already like top tier, and then just kind of disappeared,
I know he did the covers for some of the Elvira House of Mysteries.
And on top of that, he was never at Marvel or DC.
No, well, he was at DC.
Was he?
Well, I said he did a couple of the Elvira
covers.
A
Couple of covers. I'm talking about like as a
interior artist.
Right, but I don't think he ever did so much as a cover for Marvel.
Right, I'm saying like he didn't have to like work as most of like the top artists. You think of like your Jim Lees or Todd McFarlane's or whatever. Like they all like work their way up the ladder,
right?
To prominence. Like he just showed up. He was so great. Does his own book. Everyone knows like it just and then fades away into the sunset. Like so strange.
Yeah, I guess like. I like this because I'm really getting into GSA. I've been reading that, so I'm gonna start collecting some of the covers. I mean, it's like, do I want to get all the floppies or do I want to get all the trades and be able to read them? Because I'm a person that likes to read them, but now if I become a collector, I run out of room for stuff I want to read. That's why I got rid of my Batmans. My James Tynion Batman sold those.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I don't have room, but I'd rather make room for stuff like this,
Hey, here's some. He helped. He worked on the storyboards for Raiders of the Lost Ark and the Michael Jackson Thriller video.
Nice.
But his comic book work was very sparse.
There you go. Is this more up to your speed for ads? Challenge. Thanks for Builder Series. This is Dragon Slayer and then the model kit stuff. I miss these ads all the time. The Bubble Yum. He's been everything.
A lot of times, Ken will just open a comic and just show the ads, and that gets his attention more than the stories.
Finish high school.
I said, if you were a reader of at a certain era, you remember Count Dante, the world's baddest ass man or whatever it was. If you look through enough comics from like 1975, you will see an ad for his studio in there.
Dungeons and Dragons Adventure. Yeah, like I said, I like looking at all the ads too. That's one of the best parts is the ads. But
Yeah, think about it. The back cover, like, remember, Look Who's Smiling Now?
oh,
That guy's probably 80.
it's this cupcake ad. The thing. That's cool. There you go. Of course, it's the 80s. I have everything model kits. Yep. Like I said, I like looking at the ads, especially the older books like Dobie Gillis, stuff like that, because those are going to have some cool ads, and that's only a bad thing about when you buy a lot of these. But at least the reprints here, they have the ads in them.
Oh yeah, that was fascinating. And to Ash's point before, he said you're missing the ads. Well, if you think about it, in those days, even a poor selling comic reached more people than the best selling comics today.
Mm-hmm.
And when there were less, back then they didn't have to compete with. Even if you do read a comic, you can't wait to finish it so you can get back on your phone or your laptop. People lingered on the ads pages more in the 60s and 70s because there was freaking less to do.
Yeah.
And we all wanted our own, family of seahorses.
Because I was going through putting for the Extreme X-Men, I was putting those all into new bags, and I'd see ads for the Thomas Jane Punisher, ad for Blade coming out, and like I said, like the early movie stuff, I'd see it in there. GameCube.
Yeah, that's talking about like the ads.
No,
in
I know.
60s, books.
Yeah, those are awesome ads too. But I'm just saying, the ads I saw, like even in the early 2000s, like said the late 90s, stuff like GameCube. No one remembers GameCube unless you lived there. You're like, what's GameCube? I don't know the Switch.
Well, that's the thing that comics. The comics are kind of like time capsules, both in the comics themselves and the ads back when there were ads. And a lot of people, like those old Warren magazines, there are people that will legitimately say they enjoy the back of the magazine as much, if not more, than the magazine itself.
Yep.
Because think about it. Imagine getting excited over 5 minutes of 16 millimeter, no sound, just the visuals from a movie. Now we can press a button and get anything we want. But imagine, I said, people would be willing to pay a lot of money for a little, projection reel that might have 5 minutes of the 1931 Frankenstein. And just all the ads in those were just, like, you could get, latex monster masks and just anything you could think of. It was amazing. The last 20 pages of ads in those.
That was the 70s when you guys started getting the Halloween costumes and stuff, and all like kids go trick or treating. That was huge. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we used to enjoy that is no longer done anymore because those people grew up and people are whether it's politics or whatever. It's just the point where everyone's so easily offended these days. So we can't do this, can't do that now. And he said that Batman book, heavy nostalgia for all the different Batmans we've seen over the years.
Yeah.
But if you go back and read the story, though, it's not that good. It's cool to see all the art, though.
That Poison Ivy thing?
No. The Batman 900.
Oh. Well, I was also going to say real quick, said as cool as these are, They don't have the ads.
See,
They have the
that's
letters pages, but they don't have those. It would have been nice if they had just, since basically they were all the same one.
they'd have to charge you more.
If they would have put like one, one section of those in each volume, that would have been cool.
Yeah, they'd have to put so many more pages in there just for the ads.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm not saying for every issue. Like each one has 5 issues.
Yeah.
On the 5th issue, they should have just left the ads in there so you could go through and get that nostalgia rush.
What they need to do is release a book that really has every ads from every company. Collection of ads. Here's the DC ads and the Marvel ads, and here's all the different things in as far as a book of all ads.
I would buy an omnibus-sized
See?
thing from that.
Just going through and be like, just going there like checklist. Like here's your ad list checklist. Did you buy anything from this? I got this. I got that.
whether it's the backs of the Warren magazines, every hostess ad, all the different sets of army men, the Daisy rifles. Could you imagine that today?
Oh,
As soft as we are as a society, when you used to be able to, is your son ready for a Daisy? And it's like,
before the internet, that's pretty much how you advertise, was through magazines. Now that we have smartphones, all this stuff, they don't do it anymore. The only thing they advertise is shitty comics.
well, that honestly, that makes more sense now.
Yeah, but
Because
I mean, like,
where else are you going to reach somebody? Now, I think when DC had their TV shows,
yeah,
they should have invested in their comics, and there should have been commercials for their comic book
they
line.
used to on like
One time, I think I saw a commercial.
I think on the home, this is DVDs. I'm not sure the DVDs use it, but the VHS is like you buy the animated movies, DC animated movies. You're like now on DVD or exclusively, check out this,
But Flash and Arrow, I know we're both going strong in 2016.
Yeah,
I would have bought commercials out the wazoo for Rebirth.
yeah,
I'm sure the ads weren't that expensive on the CW, and trying to build your brand when they finally had some momentum. Yeah, just like I said,
the reason I think they don't do it because I think the CW people they're disgusted by the comic books because they're more for the male gaze versus what they're trying to do. They're trying to because they.
I don't know that I would agree with that. But
Well,
I get your point, but
yeah.
But ad money's ad money.
It is.
And by 2016, the male gaze was well on its way out of comics already.
Now it's in the comics. Tim.
No, I said male gaze.
I know. Not with a Y. We're saying, how about X-ray glasses or even that Phil Hester Flash based on the show? I never read the Phil Hester Flash. I know the other one.
I am not a fan of his art at all. But yeah, I said the X-ray glasses. I mean, it's all of it. Those ads were just so much fun.
The Nazi Krill salesman. I don't remember that at all, ads, but he's also talking about they had about the undersea family that comes alive in water.
Yeah,
and dress even.
Spoiler: it doesn't. In those 150 army men for $1.98, they're little cardboard, like one-dimensional. Yeah,
they're cardboard. I go to the dollar store. At least they're plastic. I get them. I go to the gas station.
We were led to believe they were, but
it says cardboard cutouts. So they can stand up. They just fall over.
I heard one of the fossils was telling they actually sent away for those, and it wasn't exactly the way they were advertised.
Advertised with their ads for sea monkeys. Just add water.
Yeah,
and watch them grow. You know what I saw the other day is that chia pets are still around. I thought they were done with those, but no, they just keep coming up with anything now. They have a Lizzo chia pet. That thing is like a freaking huge.
Oh, I thought maybe if you added water, it got thin.
You deprive it of water, it gets thin.
I heard somebody's going to get in trouble for calling her fat. So we truly are living in a post-fact world.
The fact you say, well, the fact you say anything, whether you're say anything is now because she's black or white, we're automatically called racist because we said that.
But this since it's the comic stream, how about two of the most incompetent buffoons of the last 15 years, both getting promotions this week?
Yeah, Jim Lee, now president of the DC Comics. Does it mean he's actually going to do something, or is this the title that's it?
I don't know.
Because Dan Didio got
it means they don't care.
Dan Didio got all the hate for his decisions. Jim Lee didn't say shit at all. Jim Lee just kind of went around and just kind of didn't really do anything at all.
Now, I'll be impressed with Jim Lee if I see what he goes. Now that I'm in charge, some things that I couldn't change, I'm going to change. Tim Drake, you got a girlfriend again.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if he would have already took over before they announced they were doing like the new Shazam, new stuff, I would say, oh, maybe that's that's him saying we should need to do some new writers on. Like, the best thing I've heard so far is that Megan Fitzmartin is not ready. Thing as far as I know now.
Well, now again, that's great. Now I will say DC has a handful of books that I actually enjoy.
Like, you want to bring in T.D. Howard and Vegas Turn, bring him in for Pride Month, and then they're gone.
That's what
Virtue Signal, and then leave.
Yeah, Leah Williams just got another series, and I'm sorry, she's not a good writer.
What is she writing now?
I can't remember what they gave her. And I know T.D. Howard keeps getting work. It's just, and that's the problem. Is that Batman, I guess, is good still. Superman is good. Flash was good.
That's what I was gonna say. The Batman Urban Legends is done, but there's another one taking its place. Another, I don't know if it's another Batman title, or if it's gonna be another. It was supposed to be another weekly title. I'll look it up.
But
Hawkgirl is coming out.
Yeah, that's
in July. And did you see who's writing it? It's a man.
Who?
Is it Jody something? I wasn't, but it's a man that's transitioned into a woman, or at least attempted to. I forgot who it is, but it's.
Let me guess. Charlie Jane Anders.
Maybe.
If it is, forget it. Because that she's right. Whichever, I can't remember what direction they're going in, does one of the X books, and if it is that person, it's DOA.
Coming out in July, and I asked what, because I asked Bashaba, he's like, oh, the Hawkeye, like, so I said, is it Kendra Saunders? So I said, is it CW or is it normal? Which version are we getting here? Yeah, it's supposed to come out in July. I saw. Look, my calendar here. July. July 5th.
Jazdia Axelrod. Screw that.
Yeah, you found it? Yeah, that's what I was talking about, yeah.
No. no writing credits. It's good.
That's what I said. It's like
I can promise you she's not going to get within this series. Hawkman.
Hawk, yeah.
I mean, I promise you this is going to be a lesbian version of her. And that's my problem with DC. They keep doing stupid things. Yeah, I said it's now maybe she'll prove me wrong. And maybe it'll be great. But the odds are really in my favor that I'm going to be right about this.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out which book it was, but I'm just looking at if you look at this, what's coming up for like the X-Men Days of Future Past, Doomsday #1. Who's that on there? That comes out on July 12th for Marvel.
It doesn't matter. The X books are dead and buried.
It's Guggenheim and Manuel Garcia. So it's another throwback.
Oh, okay. Well, that it may not suck then, but
but it's $4.99 though for 36 pages.
Mm.
So, and it looks like it's gonna be a one shot.
I do like me some Torrent, so that's
Yeah,
I
I
he's
guess
still right.
yeah. I guess that is. It's getting to the point where everybody is kind of like leaving Marvel and DC. I've been looking at a lot of the indie stuff at the point where DC, what I read from them, World's Finest, and now Shazam. Batman, I don't know what's going on after this 900th anniversary issue, Legacy. Is it going to go back to him, like, because like, is it going to explain? Oh, Batman! Because he gets saved by Tim Drake. Shows up and is like, "I found you finally." Because Tim Drake's been going through the multiverse, even the suit he got from Mister Terrific, and he's been going from universe fears trying to find Bruce to bring him home. And it's just like, are they gonna ignore the fact that he's got a robotic hand now? Like why? He's, I just point. And then I think Josh Williamson is basically going to do another Batman story, too. Batman Night Terror. So I don't know. It's the one story, the one thing I've been actually looking forward to, because it just sounds so absurd. And this is IDW. Now, it's the news. You hear about IDW, their stock is just tanking.
Well, that's the other promotion. Heather Antos got kicked upstairs.
Yeah, they're going under severely.
Well, probably.
Bad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure hers is more of a, we're not going to fire you. We're not going to be here much longer. I'm sure they know that. Well, now, but Jim Lee, that again, that's either they have completely given up, or he's been held back. I tend to think it's the former.
So IDW has a thing called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossing over with Stranger Things.
Yes, I heard about that. That's weird.
I know. I don't, but for those who were a fan of Rocketeer, there's another one coming out on July 12th. Rocketeer in the Den of Thieves.
Now,
Stephen
the problem
Mooney.
with the last one.
Yeah.
The last one, I like Stephen Mooney, and I didn't mind the story, but when the female pilot outed herself basically to strangers in 1939, please. And then she saved the Rocketeer at the end of the story. Now, again, if the story had been, lesbian aviatrix featuring the Rocketeer, that's fine. But it was Rocketeer. And one thing I agree with Richard on is if you're going to do a story, the main character, the character that the book is named after, should be the one doing the awesome things. Now, if you're if your book's been going for 200 issues, there can be occasions where that's not the case. But in a miniseries called The Rocketeer, he should not be getting saved by anybody. I'm sorry so. No thanks on the new one.
Unless they pull a Mary Jane thing, or Mary Jane accident, basically like tried to help out Peter, and like remember she had a gun, and Peter's like, what the hell? And
that's totally different though. This was the Rocketeer became, he was feckless and had to be saved because he's the man, she's the lesbian. Of course, she's better than him at everything. I'm sorry, I'm tired of that as a trope. And I said they can have the next one without me.
Yeah, let's give you one shot, and where his friends gets kidnapped. The one who basically works on the jet engine for him, Rocket Pack. So they got to go rescue him.
Well, we know he's not going to save him. I hope they bring that lady with him so she can save him.
They're going to bring like what was this? His niece.
Wasn't a niece. It was just another pilot.
No. In the original series, I thought he had another girl that worked on the planes for him, or worked with the other guy.
I don't remember.
It was like it was. Remember, I'm trying to remember. It was the original series, and this was the girl who basically had a crush on him, and she worked with her uncle. I think her uncle was Phil.
I was never a huge Rocketeer fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I've read some of the stories, but I'm not. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I can't really go that in depth. I just know that he should have been the one to save the day in his own fucking miniseries.
Yeah. Whether it's a miniseries ongoing, I agree with you. If he's a main character, he should be being saved by someone constantly.
Look, if you're on issue 178, hell, even 70, even 18, fine. But you've got 4 issues or 6 issues to tell a story, and he has to get saved by a new character that checks all the right boxes in current year. No, thank you.
Let's see. Some comments here. We got some on DeQuint saying Jim Lee has nothing for a long time. Look at the new DC hiring writers. Not so great. I see Jim Lee more coffined for DC. My only dawn of DC is Green Lantern #1. Jeremy Adams is writing that. I'm looking to see if he.
I think Green Arrow is a dawn of DC, so I am supporting that at the moment.
Yeah, that's Joshua Williamson on that. He says, Justin says, if I wasn't leaving Marvel and DC because of quality, they're determined to try and price me out. That's true. They keep raising the prices.
Fair.
Batman: The White Knight presents Generation Joker. Yeah, the Murphyverse. If I have to give up all the other Batmans because Ram V decides he's done, doesn't want to write anymore, and they put someone else crappy on there, and then Zdarsky just phenomenally gets worse or someone else takes over, like, I'm happy with this. As long as they give me Sean Gordon Murphyverse, I'm good with that.
I'm going to be really curious to see who follows Ram V and or Chip Zdarsky, because I know you guys liked it a little bit, but Mariko Tamaki should never have been put on Detective Comics, especially they should never have kicked Peter J. Tomasi off to give it to her. That was look how progressive we are. Watch our sales tank, and they did. At some point, you have to go, do we want to remain in business, or do we want, weirdos on Twitter not angry with us for part of this day?
Yeah, I know, right? Like, even Black Cat's brought us up too. You brought up a lot of times too. Is that both these companies care more about selling T-shirts, selling the DC statues, or any merchandise they can, other than comic books. But
I said for years.
But they said, like, a shop owner says he's selling like 70 to 80 copies of every week when it comes to X-Men or Spider-Man. There are people still buying it. So
I
don't know why.
I'll look your store owner in the eye and say, you're lying about the X-Men. There's no X-Men book that's selling that many copies.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, I'll give you that, because people, I can't explain it. They act like they've got to be completionists. How many of those people have Amazing Spider-Man #1? Yeah.
Well, if they do, you're $200,000 richer.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but like I said, but the X-Men's been so diluted. I know the main book that Generic Duggan's writing, I can't imagine that sells that many copies. I could be wrong, but Anyway,
we're a dying breed. What we like is being phased out, and the people that like this stuff are happy with it.
So I say, we're speaking of dying.
We're dying out. We're down to 3 people now.
Yeah, we probably should call it. And
yes. Also, another art. Real quickly, Andre brought up Blake Northcott. Check out her stuff if you haven't. She's a good writer. Good person too.
Yeah, I guess that's
On
why
that?
she only did the 2 books for DC and never heard from again from them.
Well, yeah, because she wasn't making Fitzpatrick, and
Yeah.
also because she was a biological woman,
The nervous some people.
right? If you like this kind of commentary where we get angry and bitter towards the end, please like and click subscribe. And if you want to support the channel, drop $1 in the Ko-Fi bin if you or not, or just the money goes basically towards paying for keeping the lights on, as E like to say. Pays for the StreamYard, pays for the Marvel DC apps we use for reading. We are going to be doing.
He's going to pay for Pixel's trip home when he
He's still alive.
I asked him if he still had both his kidneys, and or if he gets rolled while he's out there and we need to bring him home.
So tomorrow night there is a retrospective. It is Brave and the Bold, number 111.
That's a cool story.
This is your buddy Evil Black Cat said, you know what, we should read this one. When you look at Joker Deadly Duel, see it when they team up with this one against a guy named Slade.
Yep.
And then following that, at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, Doom Patrol. Number 88.
Am I in this one?
He is in this one.
Good. Not it. No, I am in this one.
Oh,
If
you want
Pixel's
the
not
role?
here, I am Immortus. That's the bottom line. Ash, you still awake?
Yep.
All right, you can go back to sleep now. We're leaving.
Okay.
Good night, sweet prince.
All right, good night, guys.
See ya.
See ya.